Lesson 1: Comfort Drinks.
What is a comfort drink you enjoy on a cold day?
I love a warm cup of cocoa. It warms my heart.
That sounds delightful. Do you add anything special to it?
Yes, I usually add marshmallows and a sprinkle of cinnamon.
That sounds delicious. Cocoa can really uplift one's mood.
It brings back memories of my childhood. It is very comforting.
I can see why. What do you enjoy doing while you drink it?
I often read a good book or watch a movie.
That is a perfect way to relax. I may join you next time.
Lesson 2: Supporting mental health.
What is one small thing you do to support your mental health?
I take short walks in nature whenever I feel stressed.
That sounds refreshing. How does it help you?
It clears my mind. Nature always makes me feel calm.
I agree. Being outdoors can be very uplifting.
Yes, it allows me to breathe and reflect. It is very beneficial.
Perhaps I should try that as well. It could help me manage my stress.
You would enjoy it. Nature has a special way of healing.
I look forward to experiencing that. Thank you for the suggestion.
Lesson 3: Relationship Improvements.
What is a simple habit that improved your relationships?
I started to practice active listening. It has changed everything.
That is a great habit. How do you do this?
I focus entirely on the other person when they talk.
That sounds effective. Do you notice a difference in conversations?
Absolutely. People feel valued when they are truly heard.
I agree. It shows that you care. What other benefits have you found?
My relationships feel deeper and more meaningful now.
That is wonderful. Active listening is a valuable skill to have.
Lesson 4: Moments of Pride.
What is a moment you felt surprisingly proud of yourself?
I once ran a marathon, and it surprised me.
That is impressive. What motivated you to participate?
I wanted to challenge myself and improve my fitness.
And you accomplished it. How did you feel during the race?
I felt pride with every mile. It was both tough and rewarding.
That is an incredible achievement. What did you learn from that experience?
I learned that I can do more than I think. It pushed me beyond my limits.
That is a lesson we should all remember. Congratulations on your achievement.
Lesson 5: College Memories.
What is a memory from college you still laugh about?
I recall the time I tripped on stage during a presentation.
That sounds embarrassing. How did you handle it?
I laughed it off, and so did my classmates.
That is a great way to cope. Humor can lighten awkward moments.
Yes, it turned into a shared joke among friends.
Did it change how you felt about public speaking?
It did. I became more relaxed because I learned not to take myself too seriously.
That is an important lesson. Thank you for sharing that fun memory.
Lesson 6: The Eye-Opening Film.
What is a movie you watched that changed your perspective?
I recently watched a film called A Beautiful Mind. It tells the story of John Nash, a brilliant mathematician.
Oh, I have heard of that movie. What about it changed your perspective?
The movie depicts Nash's struggles with mental illness. It made me realize how compassion is essential.
That sounds powerful. Did you find any particular scene striking?
Yes, a scene really touched my heart. Nash talks about his inner demons yet strives for a better life.
That must have been inspiring. Did it change your view on mental health?
Absolutely. It opened my eyes to the challenges that many face silently.
I appreciate how films can change our perspectives. Would you recommend it to others?
Lesson 7: Daily Task Prioritization.
What is a daily question you ask to prioritize tasks?
I always ask myself, what is the most important task today?
That is an interesting approach. How do you determine what is important?
I analyze deadlines and the potential impact of each task.
That sounds systematic. Do you find it helps you stay organized?
Yes, it does. It keeps my focus sharp and my stress low.
What happens if two tasks seem equally important?
I choose the one that aligns most with my goals. This method works well for me.
That makes sense. I might try your method for my tasks.
Lesson 8: A Nostalgic Aroma.
What is a smell you miss from a place you lived?
I dearly miss the scent of fresh bread from my grandmother's kitchen.
That sounds comforting. What memories does that scent bring back?
It reminds me of family gatherings and warm conversations.
Those are precious memories. Did your grandmother teach you to bake?
Yes, she did. Each recipe carried a story and a lesson.
It sounds like a beautiful experience. Do you bake that bread sometimes?
I try to replicate it, but it never tastes the same.
Perhaps it is the love that made it special.
Lesson 9: Leaving the House Check.
What is one thing you always check before leaving the house?
I always check if I have my keys. It is essential.
That is a good habit. What happens if you forget them?
If I forget my keys, I feel anxious and unprepared.
I understand the feeling. Do you have a specific place for your keys?
Yes, I keep them in a bowl by the door. It helps me remember.
That is a smart strategy. Have you ever been locked out?
Once, I was locked out for hours. It was frustrating.
I can imagine. Your routine seems to work well for you now.
Lesson 10, Small Indulgences.
What is a small indulgence that brightens your workday?
I enjoy having a piece of dark chocolate in the afternoon.
That sounds delightful. How does it elevate your mood?
Chocolate gives me a quick energy boost and makes me feel happy.
What other small indulgences do you enjoy?
I also like to take short breaks for a quick walk outside.
Exercise in fresh air can be refreshing. Have you noticed a difference?
Yes, it enhances my focus and creativity.
It seems like you have found a perfect balance.
Lesson 11, Making Weekends Special.
What is a way you make weekends feel special?
I dedicate time for a hobby I love. It brings joy.
That sounds wonderful. What is your favorite hobby?
I enjoy painting. It allows me to express myself creatively.
That is impressive. Do you have a special place for your painting?
Yes, I have a small studio at home. It feels inspiring.
How do you feel after painting?
I feel accomplished and relaxed. It is a rewarding process.
I can see why you love it.
Lesson 12, Unexpected Flavor Pairings.
What is a flavor you pair unexpectedly but love?
I enjoy pairing peanut butter with pickles.
That does sound unexpected. How did you discover this combination?
A friend suggested it during a snack break. I was curious.
What did you think after trying it?
I was surprised by how well they complement each other.
That is fascinating. Do you recommend others try it?
Absolutely. It may sound strange, but it is delicious.
I love trying new things. Thank you for sharing that unique pairing.
Lesson 13, Impressive Museums.
What is a museum or gallery that left a strong impression?
The Louvre in Paris deeply moved me.
I can imagine. What made it so memorable for you?
The art pieces tell stories. They connect the past with the present.
Did you have a favorite piece there?
Yes, the Mona Lisa captivated me. Her expression is mysterious.
That must have been a great experience.
It truly was, John. I recommend visiting it someday.
Thank you for sharing such an inspiring experience.
Lesson 14, Simplifying Life Monthly.
What is one way you try to simplify your life each month?
I declutter a specific area of my home each month.
That sounds productive. How do you decide what to declutter?
I focus on areas that accumulate items over time, like my closet.
That is likely very freeing. Do you find it helps your mindset?
Yes, it brings clarity and peace. I feel lighter.
How do you find the time to do this?
I set aside a dedicated day. It becomes a personal ritual.
That is a great idea. Thank you for your insightful approach.
Lesson 15: Energizing songs.
What is a song you play when you need energy?
I love the song Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson.
That is an upbeat choice. What about the song energizes you?
The rhythm is contagious. It makes me want to dance.
How does it motivate you during your work?
It boosts my mood and keeps me focused.
That sounds effective. Do you have any other favorites?
I also enjoy Happy by Pharrell Williams. It always lifts my spirits.
Music is a powerful tool. Thank you, Anna, for sharing your favorites.
Lesson 16: Luxurious home improvement.
What is a small home improvement that felt luxurious?
I recently added a rainfall showerhead to my bathroom. It feels like a spa.
That sounds wonderful. How does it change your shower experience?
The water flows like a gentle rain. It makes me feel relaxed and refreshed.
I see how that can be luxurious. Did you install it yourself?
I did. It was surprisingly easy and cheap, yet the impact is big.
Have you noticed any differences in your mood or relaxation?
Yes, I enjoy my showers more. It is a moment of peace in my day.
Interesting. It sounds like a small change can bring great joy.
Lesson 17: Maintaining long-distance friendships.
What is something you do to maintain friendships long distance?
I create a schedule for virtual coffee dates with friends.
That sounds smart. How do you find time for these dates?
We agree on a specific day each month, making it easier for everyone.
Do you use any special platform for these meetings?
I most often use video calls. It makes the conversation more personal.
That is a great idea. Have you found it helps keep the friendship strong?
Definitely. Seeing their faces makes a difference, it feels more real.
I can imagine. It is nice to connect despite the distance.
Lesson 18: Seasonal traditions.
What is a tradition that helps you mark the seasons?
Every autumn, I go apple picking with my family. It is a special time.
That sounds delightful. What do you enjoy most about it?
I love being outdoors. The fresh air and beautiful colors are enchanting.
Do you do anything special with the apples you pick?
Yes, we bake pies and make cider together. It brings us closer.
It seems like a wonderful bonding experience for your family.
It truly is. Each year, we create new memories together.
Thank you for sharing this heartwarming tradition, Anna.
Lesson 19, Practicing Self-Compassion.
What is a small way you practice self-compassion?
I allow myself to take short breaks during stressful days.
That is an interesting approach. How do these breaks help you?
They allow me to recharge and gain clarity. I feel more balanced afterward.
What activities do you enjoy during these breaks?
I often take a walk or read a few pages of a book. It relaxes my mind.
It is great to have simple ways to care for oneself.
Yes, self-compassion is so important, especially in challenging times.
Thank you for sharing your valuable insights, Anna.
Lesson 20, Cooking Innovations.
What is a tool or gadget that changed how you cook?
My Instant Pot has changed my cooking completely. It saves time.
That sounds amazing. How does it work?
It combines multiple cooking methods, like pressure cooking and slow cooking, in one machine.
Have you tried new recipes since getting it?
Yes, I have. I can make meals in a fraction of the time.
That sounds convenient. Does it help you eat healthier too?
Definitely. I can prepare fresh ingredients more easily.
Thank you for sharing that innovative cooking tool, Anna.
Lesson 21, Discovering Passions.
What is a question you ask to learn about someone's passions?
I often ask, what activity makes you lose track of time?
That is a clever question. Why do you think it is effective?
It reveals what excites them. It opens up deeper conversations.
Have you discovered any surprising interests from this question?
Yes, I once learned that a friend loves pottery. It opened my eyes.
That is truly interesting. It shows how unique each person is.
Exactly. We all have passions waiting to be explored.
Thank you for sharing your thoughtful approach, Anna.
Lesson 22, Disconnecting from Work.
What is a hobby that helps you disconnect from work?
I enjoy gardening. It brings me peace and joy.
That sounds wonderful. How did you get into gardening?
I started during lockdown. It became a loving escape from daily stress.
What do you grow in your garden?
I grow vegetables and flowers. They add beauty to my life.
Gardening sounds relaxing. Has it taught you anything about patience?
Yes, it has taught me to appreciate the process of growth.
Thank you for sharing this enriching hobby, Anna.
Lesson 23, Changing Perspectives.
What is a time you changed your mind about something important?
I once believed that success was solely about money. I have since changed my view.
That is a significant shift. What caused this change?
I attended a seminar about personal fulfillment. It opened my eyes.
How do you define success now?
I see success as achieving happiness and balance in life.
That is a thoughtful perspective. Have you shared this with others?
Yes, I encourage friends to find their unique definitions of success.
Thank you for sharing your inspiring journey, Anna.
Lesson 24: Celebrating Traditions.
What is a way you celebrate your cultural or family traditions?
I create special meals during cultural holidays. It connects me to my roots.
That sounds meaningful. What meals do you prepare?
I cook my grandmother's recipes, which have been passed down.
How do these meals impact your celebrations?
They remind me of family gatherings and create a sense of belonging.
That is beautiful. Food has a way of bringing people together.
Exactly. Sharing these traditions helps maintain our family bond.
Thank you for sharing your beautiful celebrations, Anna.
Lesson 25: Sleep Improvement Apps.
What is an app that helps you sleep better?
I use a sleep tracking app called Sleep Cycle. It has improved my rest.
That sounds useful. How does it work?
It analyzes my sleep patterns and wakes me during the lightest sleep phase.
Have you noticed any benefits since using it?
Yes, I feel more rested and energetic during the day.
That is impressive. Sleep is so important for overall health.
Absolutely. I recommend it to anyone seeking better sleep.
Thank you for sharing such a helpful app, Anna.
Lesson 26: A Day of Exploration.
What is a place where you would like to spend a whole day exploring?
I would love to explore the British Museum in London. It is fascinating.
That is an excellent choice. What makes it so interesting for you?
The museum has artifacts from ancient civilizations. Each tells a unique story.
I agree. The history is rich and captivating. Is there a specific exhibit you want to see?
I am excited to see the Rosetta Stone. It represents the key to ancient languages.
That must be impressive up close. Have you ever been to a museum before?
Yes, I visited the Louvre. It was an unforgettable experience.
Museums can transport us through time. I think they inspire deeper understanding.
Lesson 27: Small Financial Habits.
What is a small financial habit that improved your budget?
I began tracking my expenses daily. It has been life-changing.
That sounds effective. How do you track your expenses?
I use a simple app on my phone. It is very user-friendly.
I can see how that would help. What have you learned from tracking?
I have noticed where my money goes. This helps me identify unnecessary spending.
That is powerful knowledge. Have you made any significant changes?
Yes, I cut back on dining out. Cooking at home saves me money.
That is a great strategy. I should try it myself.
Lesson 28, Taking Breaks.
What is a way you remind yourself to take breaks during the day?
I set a timer for every hour. It is a simple reminder.
That sounds helpful. How do you feel after taking breaks?
Breaks rejuvenate me. I return to work with improved focus.
I agree with that. What do you do during your breaks?
I stretch, grab a drink, or take a short walk outside.
Those sound like excellent choices. How long do you usually take for your breaks?
I take about 5 to 10 minutes. It refreshes my mind.
Such a small effort leads to great benefits.
Lesson 29, Morning Rituals.
What is a morning ritual that helps you feel centered?
I meditate for 10 minutes each morning. It sets a positive tone for my day.
That sounds calming. How do you meditate?
I sit in a quiet place and focus on my breath. This clears my mind.
That sounds beneficial. Have you noticed any changes since you started?
Yes, I feel more focused and less anxious throughout the day.
Meditation can significantly impact our mindset. Do you have other morning routines?
I also drink a glass of water and write in my journal.
That is excellent. Keeping a journal can clarify thoughts.
Lesson 30, Classroom Memories.
What is a childhood classroom memory that stands out?
I remember my art class vividly. It was my favorite subject.
Art class sounds enjoyable. What made it special for you?
My teacher encouraged us to express ourselves. It felt liberating.
That is wonderful. Did you create any memorable projects?
Yes, I painted a mural with classmates. It fostered teamwork.
That must have been a great experience. What did you learn from it?
I learned the value of collaboration and creativity. Those lessons still inspire me.
It is amazing how memories can shape us.
Lesson 31, Unexpected Lessons from Travel.
What is a trip you took that taught you something unexpected?
I visited Japan last year. It was a life-changing experience.
That sounds intriguing. What did you learn there?
I learned the importance of mindfulness in daily life.
That is interesting. How did you see this practice in action?
Japanese culture emphasizes being present. I felt more aware during my visit.
That is a significant takeaway. Did you adopt any new habits from that trip?
Yes, I started practicing mindfulness daily. It has positively influenced my life.
It is fascinating how travel can open our eyes.
Lesson 32, Disliked Foods.
What is a food you once disliked but now love?
I used to dislike Brussels sprouts. Now, I think they are delicious.
That is surprising. What changed your perspective on them?
I learned how to cook them properly. Roasting brings out their sweetness.
That sounds tasty. Did you try them prepared in a specific way?
Yes, I roast them with garlic and olive oil. It enhances the flavor.
It is interesting how cooking methods can transform foods.
Absolutely. I encourage others to give them a chance.
I will certainly try Brussels sprouts again, thanks to your tips.
Lesson 33: Personalizing Workspaces.
What is a way you personalize your workspace?
I decorate my desk with plants and motivational quotes.
That sounds refreshing. How do those items affect your work?
They create a positive atmosphere. It helps me stay inspired and focused.
I can see how a personalized space can uplift one's mood. Do you have a favorite quote?
Yes, I love this quote: "Believe you can, and you are halfway there."
That is a powerful message. How does it influence you?
It reminds me to stay determined, especially during challenging times.
Personalizing spaces can lead to better productivity.
Lesson 34: Welcoming Guests.
What is one thing you do to make guests feel welcome?
I prepare a cozy space for them. Comfort is key.
That is thoughtful. What do you include in that space?
I provide soft blankets, snacks, and drinks. It creates a warm atmosphere.
Those are excellent touches. How do your guests usually respond?
They always appreciate the effort. It makes them feel at home.
That is very important when hosting. Do you have a favorite snack to offer?
I love serving homemade cookies. They are always a hit.
Who does not love cookies? You have great hosting skills, Anna.
Lesson 35: Favorite Home Scents.
What is a favorite scent you use in your home?
I love using lavender. It is calming and pleasant.
That sounds delightful. How do you use it in your home?
I use lavender essential oil in a diffuser.
That must create a soothing environment. Do you associate lavender with anything special?
Yes, it reminds me of my grandmother's garden.
Memories can heighten the experience of scents.
Absolutely. Scents have the power to evoke emotions.
Thank you for sharing your favorite scent, Anna. It is lovely to hear.